Hey, Start, you're supposed to compliment her
いつも
outfit.
と服装が違うんだ
Oh
な。
my
なんで
gosh.
だってデートだって
Yeah, dude.
そうだな。
Hello, comrades. Welcome back. This is detectfanive, and today we are going to be watching Frieren Season 2, Episode 4, Other People's Homes. But before we do, let's talk about the previous episode, 3, Summer She'd Like. From that episode, we are still 29 years later after Himmel's death, but this time in a different location known as Itwa's Mountain, where they're so excited to get into the hot springs. But the village has been abandoned, so there is no hot spring. But there has been a person that has mentioned that there is a hot springs in the mountains, and Frieren didn't want to go, but Stark did. So they decided to go, and they had the three-headed lizard attack Stark since he has to be the bait, and I'm convinced that's because Frieren has been told by Stark that she was a hag from season 1. So, yeah, I think that's part of the reason why he's being used as bait, because they have to defeat the three lizards in one go, because if they defeat one of them, it will regenerate. So, yeah. But they do defeat the three-headed lizards, and they get to the top of the mountain, and it is not a hot spring, but a foot bath. And the reason that they are here is because Stark has remembered what his master has told him from his stories about how ridiculous it was for them to go all the way up to the mountain only to find out that it was not a hot spring but a foot bath. But because of those adventures that were so ridiculous, Aizen would not change that for the world. And after they have that moment of a beautiful scenery for all their effort, they go back down and go to the fortress city of Hybe, which took them a week to get there, but they get to go to the hot springs. Plus, Fern is being bold. At first, Fern gave Stark some hints, such as she has nothing to do for the next day. And he didn't really understand it, so he said he's going to a weaponry shop the next day. So Fern was bold and told him to pay attention to her. And so he decided to have some payback for all the times she was mean to him and said, "You're so desperate, I will pay attention to you and take you on a date the next day." And then it became silent. And then he kind of panicked. And I don't blame him because he doesn't know what she's thinking. And he doesn't know what to do now. But that's okay because he did ask Frieren, but he got his second offense by calling her a grandma. This dude really doesn't learn. He is going to be used as bait again. Mark my words. But luckily for him, he said something nice to Frieren when Frieren took him out to show what Fern might like the food stall, the baked goods, depending on her mood. He's kind of on his own with that too. So hopefully he can figure that out because he's screwed if she's moody. And going to see some beautiful items because that's what Fern also liked. And then a quiet plaza that Frieren has suggested because she has done this before with Fern on her birthday and it was a beautiful scenery. But all those other things she suggested was because Hyder has mentioned this to Frieren. And Frieren feels like she's not a good parent for Fern. But Stark, this is where Stark gets his second offense knocked out to one offense. So luckily he didn't went to the third offense because that's where it gets scary because Frieren has a tantrum for 3 long days. So good on him for doing that because he has told Frieren that she pays attention to these things and that's what makes her good for Fern. And because he said something so nice, that offense is off. And now he only has one, and he has 2 more chances. So he better not screw up. But yeah, he's still gonna be used as bait from time to time. So that's unfortunate. And please, please tell me he has an outfit for this date, because I'm worried he doesn't, because I don't think Frieren would think of this, and Fern is not going to tell him this. She's just gonna expect it from him because he did ask her out. But this is Stark's first date, so I don't even know if he even is gonna think about it. I mean, he didn't do so for Fern's birthday, so I am a bit worried about his outfit. But maybe I can be wrong, hopefully. So let's get into the episode.
フリーレン様、どっちがいいと思いますか？
どれでも同じだよ。
It makes a huge
それより
difference.
出かける前に髪結んで。
Definitely the purple one.
謝るから怒りに任せて三つ編みにしないで。
Ooh.
そんなに構ってほしいなら明日デートしようぜ。
No! Why? Stark, why are you in your same outfit?
それじゃあ行くか。
はい。
Oh, so awkward. Ace, Stark, you're supposed to compliment her
いつも
outfit.
と服装が違うんだ
Oh
な。
my
なん
gosh.
だって、デートだって。
Yeah. Dude.
そうだな。
Oh my goodness. Okay. You're making this so awkward. Say something. You're the one who invited her to this date,
こ
my
んなに
dude.
可愛かったっけ？
そういえば、
So
フリーレン
awkward.
様も通ってましたね。だから宿屋に変な魔道具が山積みになっていたんですね。
そこまで行くとちょっと怖いね。
そうですね。
フリーレンのやつ、今日も温泉行ってるのかな。
Yep.
は
Oh.
ぁ、しみる。
お嬢ちゃん、
Never
今日は
tired of it.
可愛い髪型だね。
やっぱりフリーレン様の話になってしまいますね。
まあ、他に話題もないしな。
Stark. You idiot. I don't even know if this is cute or
What?
worrisome.
カップル割引だそうです。
Yeah, couple gets
デ
a
ートってお
discount.
得なんだな。
身も蓋もありませんね。
し
Dude!
かし結構普通のものばかりだな。
魔道具みたいなのばかりだったら驚きですよ。
それもそうだな。せっかくの街なんだし、他の場所も見て回ろうぜ。
Someone help Stark, please. I'm feeling so bad right
お姉さんこれください。
あいよ、毎度あり。
そろそろお腹空いたろ。あっちに美味しそうな屋台があったぜ。
参ろう。
うひょうまそう。
Those are big. Grab her, grab her, grab her.
おっと。
There you go. Okay, at least
大丈夫か？
he has something to
すみ
he
ません
did。good with.
確かにその靴、歩きにくそうだな。
Because she was trying to go on a date with you. Dude, I can't. It's dark.
ヒンメル様の像って
Please.
どの町にもありますね。
Can
フ
we,
リーレ
can
ン
we
の
stop
話だと
talking about
象のポー
Frieren
ズは
and
100通り以上あるらしいぜ。
Jamel? I love them
ちょっ
both.
と作りすぎ
But
で
you
すよ
guys
ね。
need to talk about each
Nah.
other. This date is the most
結
awkward
局また
episode I've
フリーレ
ever
ン様
watched
の
in
話
my
になってしまいま
lifetime.
した。
Not really, but this is very awkward at the moment.
しかし、物静かでいいところですね。
Yeah.
フェルン、もしかしてあまり楽しくなかった？今日はまだ一度も笑っていない。
Yeah. Because she was nervous.
シュタルク様らしくなかったです。
Mm-hmm.
せっかくのデートだったのに。
ごめんフェルン。実はフリーレンに選んでもらったんだ。
どうしてそんなことを？
どうしてもフェルンに喜んでほしかったんだ。
Aww.
せっかくのデートだから。
Aww.
そうですか。確かに今日は少し残念に思いました。
See, this is what you're supposed to
でも、
do to make her not feel so nervous.
とても嬉しいです。
There
私
you
のために
go.
必死に考えてくれたんですね。
フルン。
Aww.
すごく穏やかな時間ですね。あの雲、ちょっと似てませんか？さっき食べた肉まんです。
俺も思ってた。
They did this last season.
なんだか不
One
思議です。
season ago.
繊細孤児だった頃は、こんなのんびりできるようになるとは思っていませんでした。
そうだな。
ハイター様のおかげですね。
俺だって師匠のおかげだ。
Yeah, I swear if Isaac ever saw
好
him
き嫌いをしてい
dating
ては強
freaking
い
Fern
選手
like
には
this
なれんぞ。
situation, he'd probably whack him on the head.
なあ師匠、
なんだ、
なんで俺なんか拾ってくれたんだ？
勇者ヒンメルならそうしたからだ。
Oh, Mel's such a great example.
なんだか機嫌がいいみたいだね。いいこ
Hmm.
とあったの？
Because Stark saved it by the end of the
別に。
day.
ここにもいなかったか。参ったね。依頼主から聞いた心当たりはもう全部探したのに。
朝から二人して迷子の猫を探して歩き回っただけじゃん。
そうだね。でも
Yep.
僕は君と二人で出かけられて楽しかった。
いたよヒンメル。
間違いない。捕まえるぞ。
また三つ編みになってる。
これはね、機嫌がいい時の三つ編みだよ。
Aww.
違いがわかんない。
ちょ、
Oh, that's
本
so
当に違いがわかんない。
cute. No. Why is it almost over? It's okay. We have 6 more episodes after that when it comes out. I'm gonna be so sad when this is over. 29 years after the death of Hamel the hero in the Notrich region, located in the northern lands.
最近また寒くなってきたな。
火山地帯を抜けたからね。
Oh, Frieren's not gonna
そろそろ
be
見え
in a
てくる
happy
かな。
mood. It's cold weather.
あれが北部高原の関所ですか？
Oh.
随分と物々しいな。
しばらくは
where's
まと
Eisen?
もな補給ができないと思うから、必要な物資を揃えようか。
Mm-hmm. They're gonna see Eisen, right? Because he was coming down to northern Plateau.
そのカバン見た目よりたくさん入るんだな。
便利でしょ。
Well, we also see Rebel and the others because I know they were going in the northern lands. I just don't know where. Oh.
一級魔法使いフェルン様ですね。
Mm-hmm,
お気をつけて。
フェルンってすごいんだな。
一級魔法使いは魔法使いの最高峰だからね。
なんだか危険って言われていた割には普通の場所だな。
I wouldn't say
本
that
気で言ってるんですか？
that's
シュタルク様。
so calmly. Put your guard up, dude.
囲まれたね。
Yep.
こんなのは序の口だよ。
The beginning. At least they get to improve. Is he okay? Ah! Dude. It is tiring. Good grief.
集落だね。
死ぬかと思ったぜ。
Oh no, bro.
3日3晩
Gotta
気が抜
keep
けま
your
せんでしたか
guard
ら
up
ね。
all day.
使っていない小屋がありますので、それで代わりと言ってはなんですが、
ん？
実はこの先の街道に強力な魔物が出るようになってしまいまして、自治を担っている騎士団などでは歯が立たず、行商人も来れぬようになってしまったのです。この通り冒険者もめったに訪れぬ土地、どうかその魔物を討伐してはくれませんでしょうか。
いいよ。どうせ北上するし。
Yeah?
こんな危険な場所で暮らす必要はねえんじゃねえか？
確かにここは北側諸国でも危険な土地です。ですが、私たちはここで生まれ育ったのです。
This is their
この土地には
home.
家族との思い出がたくさん詰まっています。
Oh.
誰が故郷を捨てられましょうか。
じゃあ出発だ。
Oh, that's gonna hurt Stark though, because he ran away from his hometown.
頼みました。
Yeah, I do feel bad. It's gonna affect Stark in some way. It's okay, Stark. It's okay. Well, there's the demon. No, kill it. Kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it, now. It just ate humans or freaking horse. I don't care. Kill it. Oh, good. Grief. Yeah, don't let your guard down. This thing has a sword too. And it's very skillful too. It is so strong too. Dang. Oh. I mean, the strength and the... Oh. Oh. Crap. Crap. Shoot. Ah! Oh, thank goodness. Defeat it.
気づかれたか。シュタルク、動きを封じて。
任せとけ。負けてないぜ。
Oh, I was like, where did Stark go? Okay, thank you.
さすがに強かったな。
まだ北部高原の入り口だからね。
Just entered.
これから山ほど相手にすることになるよ。
That was
まあ
just
フリー
the
レン
beginning of their...
これならやっぱりカイロでもよかったんじゃねえか。
まさかこれほど強力な魔物がいるとはな。
Oh.
こんな危険な場所ならカイロで迂回すればよかったのに。
だからこそだよ。北部高原にもたくさんの人が住んでいる。僕は自分の故郷を守りたくて勇者になったからね。他の誰かの故郷も守りたいんだ。
シュタルク、北部高原が故郷の人だってたくさんいるんだよ。
Oh, I'm gonna cry.
今回はシュタルクの捨て身の頑張りでなんとかなったけれど、今後はパーティーとしての連携をもっと意識していかないとだね。
Yep.
そうですね。ところでシュタルクはどうして座ったままなの？
Because he's scared.
別に座ってるわけじゃないぜ。腰が抜けちゃった。
情けない。
Beautiful episode. But also awkward. But Fern couldn't decide which dress she was gonna wear. Either her original one, which is her black dress, which I think she used for the exam, or her other dress that she probably bought. And she went for the purple one. And she braided Fern's hair. If Stark was paying attention, he would know that Fern was happy to go out on a date with him because she did braided Frieren's hair on that day. But he thought nothing of it or really register what Frieren has mentioned about that, so that's okay. Again, Stark is oblivious. Ma dude. This is the time when Sein needed to be here to help Stark with his outfit. Why did we take Sein out of the party? We need him. And this desperate times of a date because everything went wrong. He doesn't compliment Fern in her outfit. And then he goes on to talk about Frieren. And when Fern says, all we talk about is Frieren, he goes on to say there's nothing else to discuss about. Dude, why would you do that? Fern didn't want to eat. And it's probably because she's feeling nervous because it's so awkward. And he's just walking awkwardly. And everything is just awkward at this point. And I could see why Fern wasn't hungry at the moment because she was just like, I don't I'm not in the like she wasn't hungry. She couldn't get herself to be in the mood for eating something. And then they went to the items that were like to the beautiful items, and there's a discount for if you're a couple. And of course, Stark has to say that it has benefits when you're a couple. And then Ferd looks back and sees how confident this dude is into getting like a jewelry for his girlfriend, fiance, wife, whoever, whatever relationship they're in. I felt so bad for her. And then he goes on to talk about food again. And so I Ferd was just like okay with this because she was just like, I don't know what else to do. This feels awkward. This whole thing was awkward the whole day. And then at the end of the day, they went to the quiet plaza and they look at the view. And then they talk about, why are we talking about Himmel's statues? It's okay. I forgive Stark. He's oblivious, but I also forgive them because they are young. Okay, they don't understand the situation that they were in. But then he did mention he hasn't seen her smile, and that's because she was feeling nervous and she felt like he wasn't being himself. And Stark has saved the whole entire day because he just said he wanted to make her smile by doing all these things because he has talked to Frieren about the things that she would like and he wanted to put in all that effort. So that whole awkwardness throughout the whole entire day that it just felt like silence was horrible, and she was so excited for this day because she thought they could just be themselves. The reason I am blaming more towards Stark is because he was the one who asked her out on a date. He was the one who said that this was supposed to be a date. She even wore something nice for a date. This guy needs help, please. We need a Sein back so that he can help give tips to Stark because that was bad. But he did save the day by saying that he tried to put all this effort into doing something that Fern would like, and that nervousness that she was feeling like all went away. So, and then they looked up at the clouds saying the pork bun that they ate, I believe it was a pork bun or some sort of bun, but that was sweet and wholesome. And then it reminded me of the first season. I think this was during probably Stark's birthday when they were when they were looking up at the clouds, or Stark was. I don't remember, but I just remember that, and I thought that was so sweet. But he did save the day. Stark did save the day, and luckily he did save that for last because it saved the whole entire day of what he said of putting effort into this so that she could smile. So you know what? Bravo to him. No, but now Fern and Stark were appreciating like the people in their lives, and I thought that was so precious because Kiter is important to Fern, and then Eisen is important to Stark, and he had a flashback of why Eisen took him in, and I love that Eisen has said that Himmel would do the same because he showed such great examples to his former parties. He's like the main character. Like Frieren, the show is all about her, but like if it was just about the former party and not of this, it'd probably be Kamel being the main character. But I feel like he's the main character in this series without even trying to. Like, well, because he has all these statues around, he is a good example to his former parties. Like, even Frieren thinks about what Hamel has done in the past for that she applies to her current life, and then Hyder would always think of what Hamel would do, and so in a way he did bring Fern into his life because of that reason too, and Eisen did the same thing. And if it wasn't for his example, none of this whole situation would be like none of this would happen. None of these journeys, nor Fern, nor Stark. And that's what I love about this series, because I keep thinking more and more into this story. But Hamel has such an important role into Frieren, Eisen, and Hyder's life. And because of that, this is also important to their Stark and Fern, because if they had so much conversation with Hyder, what like Fern had so much conversation with Hyder, and it was a majority of the time was about Hamel, uh, the adventures with Hamel and his former parties, and the same with Eisen, with Stark, and now they're with Frieren, and she talks about her former party. So like these former parties are so important to them, and I love that. But yeah. Anyways, 29 years after Hamel's death, they are now in Nakrik region. So now they're in the checkpoint of the Northern Plateau, which is very, very hard to get into because you need to be a first class mage. Because these creatures, these demons, or whatever, are very difficult to fight. And because Fern has it, Frieren, she may have her emblem, but it wouldn't work because it is so old. So thanks to Fern having that first class mage scroll, they can enter. Because Frieren would have got one, but Sari, I believe her name was Sari. Sari didn't like her. So yeah, that's why it's nice that Fern has it. And it sucked for them because they always have to keep their guard up, especially um it's funny how like Frieren trusts them so much that she could just sleep it off. And yeah, so they have to keep their guard up 24/7. And luckily they found a cabin, but if they are to stay in that cabin, they need in exchange, they would like if they can help defeat the creatures that are there because they're very difficult. Plus, the merchants aren't able to come to their land because of the demons that have been attacking there as of late. And Stark doesn't understand why they're there, why they have to stay there, and that they should go to somewhere where it's not dangerous. And I do feel bad for Stark because I do feel like he's conflicted because part of him has run away from a dangerous situation, but a part of him does want to protect the people he does care about. Hamel is just full of amazing person because before we get into Hamel's backstory, they defeat a monster that was very powerful, and it was even more problematic for for Frieren and the others that they managed to defeat it, but then Frieren had to say that they just entered the Northern Plateau. This is just the entrance, and the further they go into this, going south, the difficult the road will be. And they also have to now make a plan for their team strategy because, well, they were in almost a situation where they could have got hurt badly. Probably not dead, but they could have been injured pretty badly from that situation because it was hard for Frieren to attack the enemy when the enemy is after her immediately because it was quick on its feet. But then there's also Fern that couldn't understand why it was able to break her defense. And Stark even had a hard time going up against a creature that was head to head with him, like basically the same strength as Stark, which is a bit concerning because I'm like, oh shoot, what are we going to do with that? He's still strong because he did not break his weapon. So I feel like Stark is still strong. Stark didn't understand why they had to go through this journey and that they should have just gone on sea. And Frieren thought back on her past, on how she said the exact same thing. But then I love what Himmel said because he said, I became a hero to protect my hometown. And so he wants to protect other people's home as well. And I thought that was such an important message because if we want to become that person for that reason, then we should also apply it for the same situation people are in. So I thought that was so sweet and such a beautiful messages everywhere. This show is just too beautiful. It's a masterpiece. I don't know what else you want me to say. I can't say it's bad. I can't say it's mid. I can't say it's good. The only words that I could say is it's a masterpiece. It just has me feeling good every time I watch an episode. Like, what the heck, dude? Anyways, yeah. And I think that message has strengthened Stark in a way because he just loved that. And because his master that he looks up to, and I like to think like this way, like Stark looks up to Eisen, and Eisen has looked up to Himmel. And because of all the stories he heard of Himmel, Stark kind of applies that into his life of wanting to become that person as well. But there are times he does get scared. And you know what? I love that for him because even though he's improving, even though he's strong and courageous, there are times he does feel weak. And I don't blame him because they almost nearly got themselves killed. So I feel like weak characters like Stark is like a good example of what the weakness of a character should be like, but also has the strength. And I love it. This series is too good. I love it. Anyways, that's all I have to say to you, comrades. So, you lovely comrades, have a wonderful, beautiful, and an amazing day. I'm not kidding. Love you, comrades. Bye.